had this idea that I really wanted to sing secular music.
Mm-hmm. How'd that go?
It didn't go over that well. It really didn't. I mean, one of the deacons at the church said, are you singing that devil music, girl? Are you? So, yeah, I mean, think of a small town, everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea that it was going to evolve into a profession.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted this when I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted it. But I just didn't know how to vocalize it.
Yeah.
Didn't dare because I'd already gotten in trouble about it.
What was the devilish stuff you were going to try to sing?
Well, to give you an example, the school was right up the street. We could come home for lunch. We had an hour for lunch. And we had probably one of the first TVs in the neighborhood. Now, we're talking 1951.
Yeah, so that's 50s. Yeah,
1951.
Yeah.
I was 5 years old. And every noontime, there was a jazz program on,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed the live performances of these people. Peggy Lee was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy Lee had those formals, and she had the high-heel shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that dress, and I wanted those high heels. I mean, I wanted to have. So I would dress up in my mother's high heels, and occasionally my aunt would give me one of her cocktail dresses or something, my mother's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I would dress up, we play dress up, my
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends and
Sure.
I. And I thought, well, I'm going to make my own dress. I cut up my mother's good towels. You know, they had company towels, and they had everyday towels. And when the company came, you put out all your best stuff, your good china and all that. You did that. And these are some of my mother's nice towels.
Mm-hmm.
I cut them up and made me a cocktail dress out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I pinned it down the side and tried to sew it a little bit. And then I put it on in my mother's high heels, and I went out on the sidewalk, and there were some boys that lived next door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I told them, stay out here and watch my show. Now, I'm going to do a show.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me how you like it. And so, anyhow, I was marching in those high heels and singing, never knew how much you loved it.
That's fun.
But when I got to the point of fever, my grandmother ran outdoors. She picked me up by the arm. She whooped me across the yard. And she said, you are fast. You are being too fast. She talked to my mother about it, and she said, I don't have any idea what she was trying to portray to these little boys.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we need to really pay attention to this. So anytime I mention singing, nope, shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Because they really...
She meant fast, like promiscuous?
Promiscuous.
Like, yeah, I got you.
They really
Yeah.
wanted me to have a good education,
Sure.
all the things you want for your children.
Sure.
Well, and they didn't want anything to spoil that, and I was simply
Mm-hmm.
moving a little bit faster than they thought I should.
What age was that?
I was 5.
5. Oh, okay, so that was pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, talking about fever. None, you know,
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You don't even know what you're doing.
I didn't even know what the term fast meant.
You're right.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to look like Peggy Lee. I just wanted to wear those dresses and those high heels. And I wanted to sing and then and someone to listen to my story that I was singing about.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I really wanted. And it didn't matter whether there was one person, and it doesn't matter now, or whether it's a whole hall filled of people.
Mm-hmm.
It means just as much to me as it would the difference between one couple or 3 couples. It's the same to me as 3,000, 4,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've come to the conclusion that some songs people just need to hear. I don't know where I had that idea from, but I think that they need to know someone else has felt like that, whether it be joy or I'm blue and I know I'll get well, but I'm blue right now.
Going through the same things you're going through, or
Right.
feeling the same things you are, yeah.
Some people need to hear that occasionally.
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. You were talking about your mom and like, so I mean that's just, yeah. So you cut up her towels and then you're using that to go out and do this devil
Right.
music. You
Oh,
know, like,
I got in
yeah.
trouble for that. Now, my
Yeah.
dad, he said, well, maybe it's not as bad as you think. But my dad he more or less acted like an MC when our family would sing in the church.
Yeah.
And
So he was kind of involved too.
right, a lot of people thought he was a minister.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, he had a good, I was blessed with good parents that had good hearts and
Yeah.
that worked hard.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm just fascinated that not even the non-musical thing is that like I mean, we see, not to get off on this, but we see so many parents that either don't give a crap today or they care but they're just way too busy to do anything, or they don't know, or they don't know really right from wrong, you know, and they think they do, but they're sending them down a path that they're thinking like, oh well, it's fine, you know. And it sounded like your parents at least gave a crap about
Yeah,
you
they
know
did.
your morality, you know, as
They
growing
did.
up. So I mean that's I mean, yeah.
To give you an example, my dad had 5 brothers and 3 sisters. And all of them lived in Liberty except one. So consequently, my cousins, more or less, we all grew up almost like sisters and brothers because we all lived within a block or two apart. And to give you an example, when the Chiefs first came to Kansas City, they actually had their practice sessions at William Jewell College in Liberty.
Oh wow.
That was really something. Now, by this time, I'm 14. My cousins are about 16. They're the big girls, but I could go with them because folks trusted them. And here we were up at the college watching these football players play. My dad happened to see us. He went to tell the other brothers. They called us all in and had a little talk with us. They just had a nice little talk. We know that you're beginning to look at the boys and all of that, but we do not want any of you up there watching the practice anymore. We'll take you to a game when they really, and we understand this is normal and all that, but those little boys, they're gonna either make the team or not make the team. And the ones that do make the team, they're not even gonna remember your name. They'll have so many other things on their minds. They're not even gonna remember your name. So please, don't get your hopes up and thinking, ooh, I got a boyfriend, I got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.